Hello dear student, I am Sana Sheikh from Department of Computer Science, Abeda Inamda Senior College. Today we are going to see Chapter 6, Part 2, System Security. These are the content from the chapter: Virtual Private Network, OS Security Vulnerabilities, Antivirus Software, and Wireless Network Security. Let us see what is virtual private networking, which is also called as VPN. Virtual. Virtual means not real or in a different state of being. In a VPN, private communication between two or more devices is achieved through a public network, the internet. Therefore, the communication is virtually but not physically there. So, in virtual private network, two companies or two states communicate with each other like they are communicating privately, but they use the public network like internet to communicate. Private. Private means to keep something a secret from the general public. Although those two devices are communicating with each other in a public environment, there is no third party who can interrupt this communication or receive any data that is exchanged between them. So, in virtual private network, two entities are communicating privately, though they are using the public network, though they are using internet, but they are communicating privately. So no other person or no other device can come in between these two devices. Next is network. A network consists of two or more devices that can freely and electronically communicate with each other via cables and wires. A VPN is a network. It can transmit information over long distances effectively and efficiently. So VPN is nothing but it is a network. Why it is called as virtual network? It acts as it is connected physically, they are connected privately, but actually they are not connected privately, they are connected on internet only, but they will act as they are communicating privately and no other devices can come in between these two devices. A VPN is a combination of software and hardware that allows mobile employees, telecommuters, business partners, and remote sites to use a public or unsecured medium such as the internet to establish a secure, private connection with a host network. It uses virtual connections routed through the internet from the business private network to the remote site. VPN extends a private network and the resources contained in the network across public network like the internet. Now we'll see an example so you will understand what is a VPN. Virtual private network is defined as a network that uses public network path but maintains the security and protection of private networks. So like in VPN uses public network, but it acts as it is a private network. So it is more secure than public network. For example, Delta company has two locations, one in Noida, New Delhi, and second is in Pune, Mumbai. In order for both locations to communicate efficiently, Delta company has the choice to set up private lines between these two locations. Although private lines would restrict public access and extend the use of their bandwidth, it will cost Delta company a great deal of money since they would have to purchase the communication lines per miles. The more viable option is to implement a VPN. Delta company can hook their communication lines with a local ISP, that is Internet Service Provider, in both cities. The ISP would act as a middleman connecting the two locations. This would create an affordable small area network for Delta company. So the example is, suppose a Delta company have two locations, one is in Noida, Delhi, and second is in Pune. Okay, so two locations have to communicate privately. So one solution is they will connect two locations via a private line, but the cost will go so much high. Why? Because the cost of connecting from Pune to Delhi is very high if we use a wired connection. So instead of using wired connection, what Delta company will use? Delta company will use the existing internet service providers connection. Okay, and by using that connection it is going to connect the two locations privately. So that means the existing network, existing wired network we are using, and it is acting like the two networks are connected privately. So this is a VPN. See, for example, we have two locations. This is a client software. A remote access VPN connection allows an individual user to connect to a private business network from a remote location using a laptop or desktop computer connected to the internet. So here you can see the computers or the laptops are connected from the remote locations, and the main office is here. Okay, and the client software and the office, they feel that they are connected privately, but in between these two are using internet to connect these two locations. So this is nothing but a VPN. Now we have certain types of VPN: remote access VPN, intranet VPN, and extranet VPN. Let's see what is remote access VPN. Remote access VPNs enables remote connectivity using any internet access technology. The remote user launches the VPN client to create a VPN tunnel to the gateway. Next is intranet VPN. If a company has one or more remote locations that they wish to join in a single private network, they can create an intranet VPN to connect LAN to LAN. And next is extranet VPNs. When a company has a close relationship with other company, for example a partner, a supplier or customer, they can build an extranet VPN that connects LAN to LAN, and that allows all of the various companies to work in a shared environment. Now we have certain types of VPN protocols: point-to-point tunneling protocol, layer 2 tunneling protocol, internet protocol security, and secure socket layer. We will see each protocol in detail. The first protocol is point-to-point tunneling protocol, that is PPTP. Point-to-point tunneling protocol, it's the most widely supported VPN method among Windows user, and it was created by Microsoft in association with other technology companies. The disadvantage of point-to-point tunneling protocol is that it does not provide encryption, and it relies on the point-to-point protocol to implement security measures. But compared to other methods, point-to-point tunneling protocol is faster and is also available for Linux and Mac user. So the point-to-point tunneling protocol is most widely used VPN protocol among other three protocols. Okay. Next is layer 2 tunneling protocol. Layer 2 tunneling protocol, it's another tunneling protocol that supports VPNs. Like point-to-point tunneling protocol, Layer 2 tunneling protocol does not provide encryption and it relies on point-to-point protocol to do this. The difference between point-to-point tunneling protocol and layer 2 tunneling protocol is that the second one provides not only data confidentiality but also data integrity. Layer 2 tunneling protocol was developed by Microsoft and Cisco as a combination between point-to-point tunneling protocol and layer 2 forwarding. So it is also developed by Microsoft and it is same like tunneling protocol, but here this protocol provides confidentiality also and integrity also. Next is Internet Protocol Security, that is also called as IPsec. IPsec protocol can be used for encryption in correlation with layer 2 tunneling protocol. It is used as protocol suite for securing Internet protocol communications by authenticating and encrypting each IP packet of a data stream. IPsec requires expensive, time-consuming client installation, and this can be considered an important disadvantage. So what IP security do? In layer 2 tunneling protocol, it also provides authentication and encryption of each packet. Okay, so for each packet, each data stream, it is providing encryption and authentication, but here it is very expensive and installation time is more. So this is the disadvantage of IPsec. Next protocol is Secure Socket Layer, also called as SSL. Secure Socket Layer is a VPN accessible via HTTPS over web browser. The advantage of this SSL VPN is that it doesn't need any software installed because it uses the web browser as the client application. Through SSL VPNs, the user access can be restricted to specific applications instead of allowing access to whole network. So it is a secure socket layer. In our web browser, we use HTTPS, which creates a secure connection and it allows only accessing the area which is allowed to you. It restricts the application where you don't have access. So instead of allowing access to whole network, it will restrict your access. What is a vulnerability in computer security? A computer system vulnerability is a flaw or weakness in a system or network that could be exploited to cause damage or allow an attacker to manipulate the system in some way. The way that a computer vulnerability is exploited depends on the nature of the vulnerability and the motives of the attacker. These vulnerabilities can exist because of unanticipated interactions of different software programs, system components, or basic flaws in an individual program. It's important to know that vulnerabilities are present in virtually every network. There is no way to identify and address them, all because of the incredibly complex nature of modern network architecture. Next topic is operating system vulnerabilities. These are vulnerabilities within a particular operating system that hackers may exploit to gain access to and access the OS is installed on or to cause damage. Examples include default superuser account that may exist in some OS installs and hidden backdoor problem. So we are going to see these in detail. Superuser or admin account privileges. One of the most basic tenets of managing software vulnerability is to limit the access privileges of software users. The less information or resources a user can access, the less damage that user account can do if compromised. However, many organizations fail to control user account access privileges, allowing virtually every user in the network to have so-called superuser or administrator level access. Some computer security configurations are flawed enough to allow unprivileged user to create admin level user account. Verifying that user account access is restricted to only what each user need to do their job is crucial for managing computer security vulnerabilities. Also ensuring that newly created accounts cannot have admin level access is important for preventing less privileged users from simply creating more privileged accounts. Next is hidden backdoor programs. This is an example of an intentionally created computer security vulnerabilities. When a manufacturer of computer components, softwares, or whole computer installs a program or bit of code designed to allow a computer to be remotely accessed, typically for diagnostic, configuration, or technical support purposes, that access program is called as backdoor. When the backdoor is installed into computer without the user's knowledge, it can be called a hidden backdoor program. Hidden backdoors are an enormous software vulnerabilities because they make it all too easy for someone with knowledge of the backdoor to illicitly access the affected computer system and any network it is connected to. Next topic is antivirus software. Antivirus software consists of computer programs that attempt to identify, thwart, and eliminate computer viruses and other malicious software or malware. Malware or malicious software is software designed to infiltrate or damage a computer system without the owner's information consent. Type of malware includes spyware, adware, Trojan horses, worms, and viruses. Now, what is the virus? A computer virus is a self-replicating computer programs written to alter the way a computer operates without the permission or knowledge of the user. Why people create computer viruses? Some virus writers consider their creation to be work of art and see virus writing as a creative hobby. Viruses have been written as research projects, pranks, vandalism to attack the products of specific companies. Next is the worm. A computer worm is a self-replicating computer program. It uses a network to send copies of itself to other nodes, computer terminals on the network, and it may do so without any user interventions. Unlike a virus, it does not need to attach itself to an existing program. Worm always harm the network, that is, if only by consuming bandwidth, whereas viruses always infect or corrupt files on a target computer. Now, what is antivirus? Antivirus software typically uses two different techniques to accomplish this mission. examining or scanning files to look for known viruses, matching definitions in a virus dictionary. And the second is identifying suspicious behavior from any computer program which might indicate infection. Such analysis may include data captures, monitoring, and other methods. Now, there are different identification methods to find out the software malware. The first method is signature based tool. Most commonly used method to identify viruses and other malware. Antivirus software compares the content of a file to a directory of virus signatures. The entire file is searched both as whole as well as in pieces. They are considered very basic and insufficient to be counter today's malware practices. Next identification method is heuristics. It is the most required detection method present in antivirus software. Heuristic is a technique designed for solving a problem more quickly when classic methods are too slow or fail. Some antiviruses are difficult to detect as they start off as a single infection and later change into many variants. Heuristic is a method invented to counter them. Next method is rootkit detection. Rootkit is one of the dangerous malware designed to gain administration level control over the computer without detection. They change the way operating system functions and tamper the antivirus software, leaving it ineffective. The latest antivirus softwares are being added with rootkit detection. Next method is real-time protection. Background guard, auto protect, risky website testing, etc. are some other antivirus protection provided by antivirus software. Now these are the popular antivirus softwares: Kaspersky Lab, McAfee Virus, Avira Antivirus, Avast Antivirus, AVG Antivirus and Internet Security, Norton Antivirus, Panda Antivirus, and many more antiviruses are available in the market. Next topic is wireless network security. A wireless network security is the way that a computer is connected to a router without a physical link. Using a wireless network in your home gives you the convenience of being able to use your computer virtually anywhere in your house and still be able to connect to other computers on your network or access the internet. However, if your wireless network is not secure, there are significant risks. For example, a hacker could intercept any data that you send or receive, gain access to your shared file, hijack your internet connection, and use up your bandwidth or download limit. Now, these are the internet security tips to help you protect your wireless network. Avoid using the default password. It's easy for a hacker to find out the manufacturer's default password for your wireless router and then use that password to access your wireless network. So it's wise to change the administrator password for your wireless router. When you are deciding on your new password, try to pick a complex series of numbers and letters and try to avoid using a password that can be guessed easily. Don't let your wireless device announce its presence. Switch off SSID, that is Service Set Identifier Broadcasting, to prevent your wireless device announcing its presence to the world. Change your device SSID name. Again, it's easy for a hacker to find out the manufacturer's default SSID name for your device and then use that to locate your wireless network. Change the default SSID name of your device and try to avoid using a name that can be guessed easily. Next is encrypt your data. In your connection setting, make sure you enable encryption. If your device supports WPA encryption, use that. If not, use WEP encryption. Protect against malware and internet attacks. Make sure you install a rigorous anti-malware product on all of your computers and other devices. In order to keep your anti-malware protection up to date, select the automatic update option within the project. Here we end with your chapter 6 system security. Thank you.